highly limited traffic on my website. Like I want people with the highest level of purchase intent. So it would be exact, right? So can I assume that you all understood this? Can we move ahead? Yeah. Actually, I'm quite fascinated because, you all are going quite smooth today. Like you're not even asking anything, nobody's stuck anywhere, and you're just saying we are good. So that's perfect. This was quite tricky.
Captain, sorry to
Yeah.
break that streak. I have a question. If I were to use modified broad match and
Yeah.
phrase type, and if I lock the entire phrase, that becomes the same thing, right? If I lock down, say,
Right.
yeah, put a plus in front of every word of the phrase, it becomes a modified broad match, right?
Right. But there is this thing that we don't lock it generally, the entire thing, because if you're putting plus, plus, plus in the entire thing, that becomes phrase match itself, right? So we don't put plus in front of every word. We basically lock one or two terms, hardly.
Okay, ma'am. And if I want an exact match, well, like, what would entail an exact match type? Like, because that limits my traffic drastically. Why would I want it used?
I can explain. So, for example, there are certain blog articles, that are very generic, like they're catering to everybody. That how to become a digital marketer or anything. But when I'm writing something for internships, that a blog that is explaining how to get internships, here I don't want everybody to come. Here I want only selected traffic, people who would understand what I'm teaching them, right? So there, to reduce the traffic, I will use exact match. That how to secure an internship in digital marketing, maybe.
Ma'am, you mentioned highest level of purchase intent for exact time.
Yeah.
Can you please elaborate a little?
Yeah. So purchase intent means, okay, let's start. So for example, here we have you and we have say Srishti and we have Khushi. Okay. 3 people are there and you are enrolled in SEO workshop, right? So if I tell Khushi that, do you want to enroll in digital marketing? She would say that I don't know anything about it. Just tell me right from the beginning. So she is the one with the lowest level of purchase intent. Like she's not even interested right now to purchase that, right? So this is something where I need to tell her very generic things, that how sessions would be done, like you will have lifetime access and there would be live sessions every Tuesday, Friday, or Wednesday or something like that, right? But now coming to other person, say Srishti. Okay, now Srishti is little convinced, but still she require more assurance that she will get an internship. So I will tell her that, you can get it like this. But now I want to share the payment page with somebody. Let's just go there and make the payment for digital marketing workshop. So there, do I want every person to go? No, because if these Khushi and Srishti are going, they will not make the purchase because they are not convinced right now. So me bringing them to the payment page would not make any sense, right? But if I'm bringing you to the payment page, that would make sense because you are convinced, you can buy it, you have the highest level of purchase intent, right? So different pages, they require different audiences. Not all the pages want everybody to come. Some are just for people who are in bottom of the funnel. Funnel looks like this. On the top, everybody is there. As they go at the bottom, they are the people who are like highly convinced that we are now just buying, we are just making a purchase now. How we get to choose these types for the website? Would it be a part of HTML? Yes, they would be a part of HTML. And in Google Ads, while putting them, we can just put a plus, we can put a bracket, something like this to tell Google that these are exact match and phrase match. Modified match is better for business whose revenue come from Google. Yes, totally unsure. Now, do these match also reflect website's credibility? No, they would not. They are just for us and customers. So Google would never judge us on these parameters. What they judge us is how many keywords are there. Some people overuse keywords. They are like so sentimental that they say that, Acha, okay, we need to use keywords. We will use like 100 keywords, the same keywords on one page. So that makes it keyword stuffing. And that is something that bothers Google. That you can't use a keyword like so many times. The density should be 1 to 2%. After that, your website looks fishy and Google will take actions, maybe reduce your reach. or shadow ban, or maybe ban your website. How many keywords? 1 or 2% of the total number of words. Say for example, you have like 1000 words, right? So you can use 10 keywords, like 10 keywords. But actually, I'm quite wrong. Not keywords, one keyword 10 times. Like frequency I'm talking about. Because the more number of times we use the same word, it becomes a keyword, right? So how many times should I use digital marketing on one page? 1 or 2% of the total number of words total. On my blog, I have 1000 words, right? So I can use digital marketing keyword just 10 times, not more than that. If I'm using digital marketing 200 times, it would be like, keyword stuffing, cloaking, and it is not allowed. Let me quickly show you an example and you will feel that how wrong they are. So for example, let's go to our classy website TED. Okay. Who asked this, Anshul or Anmol? Anmol. Okay. So see Anmol. Over here we are on TED website, right? I will go to Control+F and I will see how many times TED is coming. Okay. Just wait over here. TED. What do you see over here? Do you see 41? Because I see 41. Do you see this? Right? Now, can I make a decision over here? No. In SEO, we can't really go with the human thing that, I feel it this way. So, it should be like this. We will go to pingler.com. I will share the link with you in a minute. I will go over here and I will check the keyword density. Over here, I will put the URL TED.com, click on continue, okay? And over here, they are showing me a different number. That's why I say that, you will always have different numbers in different tools. Over here, I can see TED, right? TED, so many times, so many places, right? Do you feel, Anmol, that TED is actually used a lot of times where it is not even required? Like it could have been speakers, fellows, translators, organizers, and community, but still they are using the word TED, right? This could have been avoided. Or maybe over here, I feel that fellows at Translator Institute could have been there. So if we go by the density, it is 0.04. If we go with the 27 count. However, on website, I feel it is 41 because, this can't be wrong. But still, let's see that this tool is good, or maybe it has an older version. Now they have included more keywords, right? Like 14 more are there, let's assume. But the density is 0.04. So now, Anmol, you will tell me what is 0.04. Like how much percent is that? 4%, right? And how much we should have? 1 or 2%. Clearly, there are too many keywords. Let's talk it like this, that you are not an expert. You are a person who is coming for the first time. Then also, do you feel that TED is really used a lot of times that it becomes very annoying now? That it's totally over there and it impacts the readability of people. And this should not happen. And this is the reason why Google bans such people. But this website is not, maybe because it is quite old and it has huge name in the market. But new websites are really are impacted by such things, right? So now I understand why it is happening, because even in devoted, the TED is coming. So let's go with the 27 count, and even then it is this. But all other keywords are 1%, right? Only with TED they became sentimental that we will include all the things like, with TED branding, that's okay, but still it is used over, like overutilization basically, right? So now coming back to our presentation, we have discussed till now branded and non-branded keywords and different categories: broad match, modified broad match, phase match, and exact match, right? Coming to another category, but before that, let me quickly ask you a question. Do you remember one animal that I told you that you need to remember? Can you put that animal in the chat box? It is same in the case of Facebook and Insta as in hashtags. Yes. Dino? So you just need to think about a dinosaur while remembering these keywords. Okay. head, tail, and long tail. Head keywords are those that are one word keyword. I can tell Google that my keyword is my captain. Okay. My keyword is TED. So those are head keywords. I can tell Google that my keyword is digital marketing workshop. 3 words, it would be a tail keyword. And long tail keywords are those that are highly descriptive. So over here, you need to think about a dinosaur. Head is short, tail is long, and here is the long tail. Okay. So now let's discuss about this. These examples are listed over here as well. Head keywords can be hat, shoes, my captain. Tail are women shoes, digital marketing, or advertising workshop. Long tail are quite long. Some people search, when I use voice search, I generally write long sentences in Google search that they say that now we can't take it, like, limiting the words. So now let's ask you a question. You can be 100% wrong. Okay. Do you feel that you write 1 or 2 words when you're not sure about the subject? Like you have little information. So you just write something very simple, like tell me about workshop, or maybe Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, Ethereum, or maybe a doggy, right? Doggy coin, right? But now you know a lot about the subject and you expect Google to be like very good about it, like tell me everything. So you might search that why doggy coin price is dripping. Like just asking, ever happens, you become very detailed. Like tell me, like why is it dropping? Why Bitcoin price is falling in May 2021? Or when is the right time to invest in cryptocurrency? But if you don't even know about it, you will just type cryptocurrency, right? But when you want clear answers, when your intent is high, you go with long tail keywords. So how brands use them? When brands, they want good traffic, they want all people to come to the website, they go with the head keywords that let's bring everybody on the website. But when they want you to make a purchase, they want you to read a blog till the end, they write long keywords that I want traffic like this, digital marketing workshop by my captain. The purchase intent is very high, so I will use long tail keyword, right? So like, did you understand this part? Just asking because nobody said anything. So we discussed about branded, non-branded, modified, broad, phrase, and exact, and tail, head, and long tail keywords. So this is about keywords. Yeah.
Actually, like you said before, that we have keywords. So like in Instagram, we find the hashtags trending. Like it shows whenever we type something like Insta picture or Insta short, something like that. So it shows no 31 point k something post, something like that. So is it relatable with the keywords also? Do we have a algorithm which works on Insta or FB as in hashtags? So do that kind of thing is happening in keywords also?
Yeah, it happens. Like actually, I was about to show this thing. So you asked. So now let's go for the task of the day. So your question, I will answer just in a minute. Let's go to Uber Suggest once again because this tool comes very handy. It is free as well. Once again, select India and English. I don't know why I find this very difficult always. Like I just have to keep an eye.
Captain,
Hmm.
yeah, I had one question.
Yeah. Just a minute. Can I answer that in 5 minutes?
Sure.
Actually, let's complete this and then I will come over there. So I have put chocolate cake. Okay. What is this tool? This tool is Uber Suggest. And over here, I am finding keywords. Okay. I will click on search. Once I do this, this tool will generate a lot of ideas, right? And now I have clear understanding that I want a mix of all the keywords. I want branded, non-branded. I want head tail, long tail, and the match type. That's totally up to me. So we will not focus on that over here. Now, since I think your name is Cheel, right? Not sure about the pronunciation. Please pronounce it. And actually, I'm answering your question. Whatever the keyword is, on Instagram, you know how many posts are there. On web, you get such things that what is the search volume. Over here, it is very high. There is this keyword chocolate cake, around 3 lakh people search it. Now, how would I know that this is monthly or what? So over here, you can get the definition that it is a monthly basis in India in English language. Okay. So whenever you feel that I don't know about a particular keyword, like how many times it is searched for, just type in this tool and here you will see how many times it is searched and what is the SEO and paid difficulty. SEO difficulty is basically over here competition in organic search, and this is competition in your ads, right? How many people are bidding for it? It is 1776, which is not that good. Like you can still rank better over here. And cost per click is 2 rupee. Like if you're running ads, you can get a person on your website with just 2 rupee, right? So over here, I can also get a lot of ideas along with the volume, like how many people are searching for it on a monthly basis, and what would be the cost per click if you are running ad, right? And over here, trends, I can see high, low, etc. Now, coming to the next thing, that is, here it is. I want to sell a chocolate cake. Okay. Would it be a good idea to select this keyword? I am selling cake. And somebody is searching for a recipe. Should I select the second keyword? Just asking. I am a baker and I have chocolate cake to sell. Should I select the keyword recipe? They are direct threat to us. If they will make it at home, who would order from us, right? So we will not select such keywords. So over here, basic thing is you need to come up with keyword ideas. Like I can come up with, say, birthdays, okay, cake decoration, no. Eggless, yes, this person might buy an eggless cake from us. Then images, no. Design, no. Recipe, no. Once you are like done that, I want to select these many keywords, you can just export it or copy them. Over here, I will select chocolate cake, then not recipe, I'm sorry. Images, no. Birthday, yes. Birthday cake, eggless cake, then happy birthday, for birthday, etc. Once I'm done, I can go over here on the top and okay, sorry, this side, and I can click on export to CSV or maybe copy, and I can put it in my list. Now, how this is useful to us? If you are an SEO specialist, you can make a list of all the keywords that you feel are good, and you can provide the list to content writer, and that person can use all the keywords in a particular blog article. Most of the times content writers, they have so much to do that they are not the people who research this. Digital marketers do this. Like I'm much to do that they are not the people who research this. Digital marketers do this. Like I'm in my list. Now, how this is useful to us? If you are an SEO specialist, you can make a list of all the keywords that you feel are good, and you can provide the list to content writer, and that person can use all the keywords in a particular blog article. Most of the times content writers, they have so much to do that they are not the people who research this. Digital marketers do this. Like, I'm not saying that they don't know, they do know. But instead of managing everything, this thing is given to another team, and that is marketing, because those are the people who understand SEO and analytics and everything. So they make a list. So at my company, I used to make list earlier when I joined, and I used to give it to content writers, and they used to incorporate all the keywords. And it depends how many number of times they want to use, but they used to use all of them. And frequency is decided by them. But still, I always used to tell them that it should not be like more than 10 or 20 in a 1,000-word blog article. Yeah. So Abhivyakti, do you have any question? You raised your hand. Okay, by mistake, that's okay. So this was about today's session, now talking about the task. You have to make a list of 20 keywords for your blog article. What blog article? In the coming live sessions, we are writing a blog article, and over there, we will make it SEO friendly using all the tools. But today, you just need to do one thing. You need to first decide what would be the topic of your blog articles. And for the same, you need to research 20 keywords. These keywords would be a mix of head, tail, and long tail, and branded and non-branded. The match type, I don't feel that you should do right now, because it totally depends upon the business. If you want to do, you can, but I would suggest that go with branded, non-branded, head, tail, and long tail. That would do the job. And you need to come up with 20 keywords. You can put them into a document and submit, or you can directly type in the app as well. Whichever way you like, you can do this. And this is your task for the day. So do you have any? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I have two questions. First of all, I just want to know that what kind of keywords the e-commerce sites basically use, like Amazon or Flipkart, to sell a particular product. You can say a mobile. So
yeah. Okay, so you're done with the question. So say for example, if they have a mobile phone to sell, how would you know? So you can know that as well. Say for example, there is this tool, SEM Rush. I will have to log in right away. This is a paid tool. So say suppose you are there in this field, so you can just search for it. Over here, I can put Amazon.com. Not Amazon.com.in, right? I would just search for this thing. And over here, I can get to know what keywords they are using. Okay, let's quickly load all the results over here. And I can see over here what keywords they are using. They're using AirPods. See, these are the keywords they use. What is Fire Stick or AirPods, Amazon Fresh, then Amazon Prime India, Map, Prime Video. So if you feel that you want to know what keywords brand use, you can just go to SEMrush and see what keywords they are using.
And Captain, I had the following question. You just mentioned today's task. So Captain, I had just I made a website on the e-commerce. So now for the blog article, is it completely separated for both the tasks, or is it the same? That is, we have
No. Actually, I was saying that you have to envision it, that what would be a blog article, and just research keywords. And then in the next session, we will draft the blog article using the same keywords.
Okay.
Like right now, we are just planning. And later on, we will write a blog article and use the same keywords and make it SEO friendly.
Captain, what is the deadline for this task and the previous task?
Actually, like I said earlier, before next live session. So now we have it on Monday, so Monday.
Okay, Captain.
Can we have blog and e-commerce website? Yes, you can have. I've seen a lot of them, even on Shopify, I guess. You can have blog articles. If you have a blog website, how to select branded and non-branded keyword. So if you have a blog website, you might have some brand name, right? Like how can it go without a name? It should be something. Say, for example, if go with cake blogs, right? I search for this thing. See, this is a blog on cake. It still has a brand, My Cake School. This is a brand name, right? Then over here, Cake Rex. This is a brand. So even if it is a blog thing, then also you might have a brand so that people recognize who you are. That would become mostly same, right? Personal blog, then it would be your own name, like Komal Pandey and all. Yeah, it would be done by tomorrow. Actually, yes.